Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Scaffey, and I work on the education team at the National Hemophilia Foundation. It is my pleasure to welcome you to NHF's Super 7 Storytime series. Super 7 is a children's book targeted to kids ages 8 to 12 with ultra-rare bleeding disorders, but everybody will find something to enjoy. The series will include various bleeding disorder community members who share a little bit about themselves and read a chapter from the book. Now, if you couldn't join us during NHF's Pajama Book Lunch Party, please watch the party on our YouTube channel where Dr. Len Valentino reads the first chapter of the book. And please note, every week, NHF will publish a new video with a chapter reading from the book Super 7 for you to watch on your own time. Now, you'll also notice our guests are in pajamas, and we encourage you to watch these in your pajamas too. And with that being said, I'd like to welcome our next guest of the Storytime series, Patty Williford. Hi, Patty.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Nicole.
Oh, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited.
Oh, we're excited to have you too. Well, with that, before we actually dive into you reading the chapter, I'd like to just ask you a few questions so the audience can learn a little bit more about you. So I'll start off easy and very simple. What state are you from, Patty?
I am from Virginia. I currently live right outside of Washington, D.C.
Oh, we're really close to D.C. That's fantastic. Well, now, if you're comfortable, next question is, do you mind sharing your community affiliation?
Yes, so I have hemophilia factor 11, so I actually have a rare bleeding disorder, so this book is awesome to me. And I also am a member of the National Youth Leadership Institute with NHF, and I work for my local chapter in Northern Virginia.
Oh my goodness, you're such a busy woman.
I am.
Well, with that super serious question, what is your favorite food or snack, Patty?
Oh, that's a hard one. There's so many good options, but I think I would have to go with mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. Wow, that's a brand new one. No one has said that yet in the series. And so, I'm going to follow that up with a question. So is there anything that goes on the mac and cheese, like bacon bits, or I don't know what else you put on mac and cheese, barbecue sauce? I don't know. Do you have like a special mac and cheese recipe, or is it just like plain mac and cheese?
I love when it's extra cheesy, like lots of layers of cheese on top. And sometimes when you throw in broccoli, that's a really good option.
Okay, healthy and tasty. I like it. I like it. Well, with that, I will ask our last question before you read to us today. And my question is, why is the book Super 7 important to you?
Yeah, so Super 7 is important to me because it really provides representation for people to see themselves in this character in Tanner. For me, growing up with a rare bleeding disorder, I didn't meet a lot of other people who had my same disorders like me. And so this, helps people understand what I'm going through, but it also helps me see myself represented, in literature. And this is something that's a great resource for everybody, whether you have a bleeding disorders or not, to understand what it's like to live with a bleeding disorder day to day.
Very, very well said, Patty. Very well said. I absolutely love that. Well, I sincerely appreciate you sharing with us. And with that, I'd like to pass it off to you to read us the 13th chapter of Super 7. Patty, would you do us the honor?
Yes, I would love to.
Whenever you're ready, the stage is yours.
Sounds good. Thank you. Okay, so I have my book here. Chapter 13. You're a hornet? Huh? I turned. It was hard to hear with the crowd and the band. You're a hornet. Why didn't you tell me? Said Abigail. Abigail, what are you doing here? I asked. Hey, call me Abby, remember? She grinned. My brother's on the team, she said. She pointed at Charles. And I'm a fan. I told you. I love basketball. You're on the team. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Yeah, well, I'm on the team sort of, I said with a shrug. What do you mean sort of? She said. You're wearing a jersey. You're number 7. You seem to like keeping secrets. I smiled a bit. Yeah, I guess. But I wasn't sure I'd be playing tonight. I had a bleed in my ankle on Monday. It still isn't better. I pointed to the bench. So that's my position for this game. She frowned. You're sounding a bit sorry for yourself. Like, because of your disease? She poked me gently, making me grin. I nodded. Yeah, true. I am actually feeling sorry for myself right now. But not as sorry for myself as I'd been feeling a few minutes ago. It felt kind of good to explain to someone why I wasn't playing. I bet your team isn't happy about it either, she said. Do they know what's up with you? No, I said. It struck me that I hadn't really explained. I was sitting out, but they didn't really know why. They didn't know how much I wanted to play, how some normal dumb injury was keeping me from pulling my own weight, from playing in our final championship game. The whistle blew. The final quarter was beginning. Abigail nodded. "Go Hornets," she said to me with a smile. "Go Hornets," I replied, and then I repeated it with feeling. "Go Hornets." As my team got up to take the court, I hurried over to Coach Velasco. "What can I do, Coach?" I asked urgently. "I want to help us win. How can I help?" He smiled a big smile. "Cheer 'em on, Seven. They need your support. They're feeling frustrated and down. They need you to tell them they can win." So I did. I stopped moping and I cheered and cheered. "Get 'em, Omar! Marco!" I cried. I yelled encouragement as our players came off and went on. "You got this, Jason, and you're working hard, 14. I stayed positive. I watched Coach and tried to support what he did and said. The guys gave me some hand slaps when they came off. I buzzed to them like a hornet and handed them water bottles as they sat down. "Nice shot, 33, and good job running the Blake, Louise." Our score began to inch up. When players were on the bench, they began to nod and stamp their feet enthusiastically. The ones on the floor seemed more confident. They tried some more difficult plays and were successful more times than they weren't. "Go Hornets!" the crowd yelled. The gap closed. And finally, we were in the final 20 seconds of the game. The Cougars were ahead, but only by 1 point. If we got a basket, we'd win. I was on my feet, along with everyone in the crowd, the band, all our players. I could hardly breathe. 10 seconds, Coach shouted. 9, 8. "Go Hornets," I yelled when Louise got the ball. He dribbled down the court and stopped. Jason was in the clear, left arm waving. I'm open! I'm open!" Marco was in the clear. "Me, Louise, me!" Louise looked at Jason. He looked at Marco, who was in the clear, and he actually turned and looked at me on the bench. He gave a nod, and sure enough, I knew his play. And so did Louise, and so did Marco. But the Cougars, no way. So when he drilled the ball at Marco, they were totally surprised. 6 seconds until the buzzer. 6. Marco caught it, spun on a dime. 3, 2, lifted off, and 1, shot the ball. The basketball arched through the air as the buzzer sounded. The crowd yelled. I held my breath. The ball went through the hoop, swish. We all started cheering and rushed the court. Our fans in the crowd too. We did it, won the game, won the championship. My team and I had won. And then this is the picture of them with their championship trophy. And that is the end of chapter 13.
Thank you so much for reading to us today, Patty. That was fantastic.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
I still can't believe they won the game. I'm just going to say it. That's insane.
So exciting.
Right? But if you guys are curious, this isn't the last chapter. If you want to know what happens next week in the final chapter of Super 7, please join us because you'll be hearing from another bleeding disorder community member. And again, I want to thank Patty for joining us today, and I want to thank all of you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.